On April 12th, 2020, SNL debuted the 16th episode of their 45th season, doing their very first live at-home show featuring people and comics broadcasting at home, with a few exceptions, including an animated sketch called The Midde-Aged Mutant Ninja Turtles. But what if I told you that was something I did over 12 years ago? Yes, that's right, SNL stole my sketch from 12 years ago. But it goes further and deeper and darker than that. What if I told you this was a dark, layered conspiracy of comedy theft, a decade old, when a plucky young upstart's material was taken by a massive corporation, wholesale, and the joke was stolen? Well, stick around and find out as we get to the truth. You gotta love to be gone back yet. So, in my last year of college, in the advanced production class, I endeavored to create a parody of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called Midde-Aged Mutant Ninja Turtles. My dream was to debut it on the web and hopefully gain a job as it went viral, like many similar things in that era, like Street Fighter the later years. The YouTube era was new and nubile, and many people were making names for themselves, such as Donald Glover with his work on Derek Comedy, and Josh Trank with his short of Leia's Birthday Party, which ultimately got him working on Chronicle. YouTube was making many people in that era, and I had hoped this would be my ticket to reaching that height. And around the time I was finishing up after shooting this, I had also interned at The Onion. And when I interned at The Onion, the location coordinator was Chris Kelly, who is well known now in the comedy world, and also the head writer of SNL. So, did Chris Kelly steal my Ninja Turtles idea, which I was working on and had shown off in the Onion offices, and now, 12 years later, this comedy theft has been perpetrated, where my content was stolen by a huge, massive corporation? Does everything line up? Is this the most egregious example of comedy theft to occur in the past decade? Worse than Amy Schumer's joke thieving? Probably not. Because here's the thing. While all that is true with the Chris Kelly connection and the fact I worked at The Onion as an intern, the fact of the matter is that Chris Kelly left SNL in 2016 to become the showrunner of his own TV show that he created with the other co-writer of SNL, to ultimately go on and write and create the other two comedy series on Comedy Central, along with a few independent films. So when this sketch debuted, he was long gone. And chances are, I don't even think, even if you asked him, he'd have any idea what the Midde-Aged Mutant Ninja Turtles are. That's the thing as you get older. You reach a pearl of great wisdom or come up with a really great idea, but it's such an obvious idea, it's only a matter of time before someone else comes across it and executes it. And the sad truth of the matter is that I did not have the ability to execute my Midde-Aged Mutant Ninja Turtles as well as SNL. I didn't have a team of animators or the same resources or the same skill and craft. The two sketches share the same sense of dark, depressing humor, but obviously the SNL Ninja Turtles is far punchier than my work. Because, to be honest, I'm an awful filmmaker. The best I know is how to turn on a camera and zoom in and out, and that's about it, and hit the record button. But that is the frustrating thing about being a creator and getting older. To have a great idea, but not have the skills or the technical know-how to execute it. And you run into these instances where you see some idea that you had a kernel of, but you didn't have the ability to execute it. You didn't have the resources, you didn't have the connections, and you didn't have the skill to ultimately bring it to life. And of course, it's frustrating when you know that you had a great idea, but you see somebody else do it, but they do it better, significantly better. Like, for an example, a couple weeks ago, I did a Sonic the Hedgehog video, just because I was playing Sonic Generations when it was free on Xbox Live, and I got the kernel of an idea to talk about Sonic, because Sonic is always an evergreen topic. And just today, my video essay role model, Super Eye Patch Wolf, put out his own Sonic video, and he covers a lot of the same ground as the one I did. Did he steal my idea? Was he looking at it and thinking that I'm gonna steal from this lobster guy? He knows what it's at. No, probably not. And the fact of the matter is, the painful fact is that his video is 10 times better than mine. And I guess that is the eternal struggle of trying to do anything creative, is that you will always be faced with people who are better than you, more talented than you, more skilled than you, who are capable of producing the idea you had just much more effectively. But that is the burden of getting old. But the ultimate thing of creativity, of just making stuff, is to pursue that spark, to keep following that high of having ideas and executing them, and getting that endorphin rush when you have that one thing that you want to see visualized and created more than anything else, and then you get that sweet sense of satisfaction when you do execute that idea half as well as you think it is, and then you see someone talk about it and react. It's an idea that just keeps on fulfilling you, making you want to make more stuff, and continuing to move forward. Even if you get older, even if you see younger people do the ideas that you had in the back of your head better, you still keep going forward. Maybe someone on SNL did see that video ages ago. Maybe it was the kernel of an idea of something. But the fact is that the context and the jokes are different enough that it wasn't ripped out of whole cloth. And it wouldn't have been too far away from when someone would have that idea of Middle-Aged Mutant Ninja Turtles. It rhymes. If you put enough monkeys in a room working on typewriters, come up with the same thing that you did. And that's just a fact of life. As much as I'd love to say, I'm arming up the lawyers, I'm gonna take SNL and NBC Universal for every dime, the truth of the matter is, can't really say that they stole it. Maybe it was inspired by it, but ultimately it was done differently enough that I can't really whine about theft. But hey, I've got some great ideas, and I always execute on them, so if you want, feel free to keep subbing. If you aren't already, sub to this channel to see what else I might come up with. Because if my 12-year-old ideas are good enough to be stolen by a huge multinational corporation and by a professional writer, maybe, just maybe, I'll have something else worth saying as well. So thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.